Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read for the main part of the read using Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Agus West. Website on the side here is schifferbooks.com. Feel free to check that out. If I can get a little closer. There you go. Just freeze frame if you need that information, of course. Supportive Oracle Cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. Is an apple, use an umbrella. Whew. Okay. What do we have for Libra? Your outcome pushed right out. I don't know what it is. It's face down, but like it pushed right out. And I really want to know what it is. But I guess we'll wait until the appropriate time. Oh, these two as well. Community transformation. All right, so things going on around this situation. Other people have to catch up. Other people have to catch up to what's really going on here. You're ahead of the game, and you have been for a while on whatever this is. The Nine of Pentacles is not what this card is. The Nine of Cups is what this card is. The Nine of Pentacles is also here, though. You know something. It's like you figured something out. It's like you understand how something works. There's a challenge in relaying it to other people. There's definitely a challenge there. I feel like this is one of those things where you understand it, you get it. Sometimes you find somebody else who kind of can catch on fairly quickly, but for the majority of the time, you got to give it in pieces and let people sit with it and soak into it and kind of absorb it and go, oh, okay, that's what that is. And I feel like you're trying to help people move forward, but it's kind of like, it's a slow process. I feel like, have you made peace with it? I think you have, but you keep working at it. I also kind of have this weird feeling like the sooner this makes sense, the easier things get for everybody. I'd like people to catch on quicker, but they're just not. The thing is, they have to understand what you're telling them before they can move forward. So it's not like you're not purposely holding back information. It's just kind of like, you know, until you can address the alphabet and know that there's 26 letters in the alphabet, until I can get that down, we can't get into what the sounds are. And if we can't get into like using words and using them for language until we get, you know, through what the letters are, what they sound like, and then we gotta, you know, piece them together for words, and then we can't start creating sentences, you know, writing out sentences until we've gotten that far. Like, it's just the process in which it doesn't make sense to jump ahead if it's not going to work. That's this situation, whatever it is. You've been trying. Like, you want to move it forward faster. You've been trying. It's not like you haven't been trying. You have. It's just kind of like, yeah, I try to move forward a little quickly, and then that doesn't go well. So we have to go back a couple steps and do it again. There's a lot of communication going on here. When I saw this, I keep thinking written communication. It says automatic writing. I don't know about that for this situation. Maybe. You know what you're dealing with. But I'm getting like maybe people writing things, or people, there might be like an email thing going on here where people are not thinking about what they're saying. There might be one of those things. I feel like you see this online a lot where people just like, they type something out and they send it and they're like, I don't even care. And then you realize what they said and you're like, oh boy. There's a lot of that going on here. A lot of like thoughtless communication. You know, like not really thinking out what they're saying before they send it out there into the world. I think people are getting better with that overall, but maybe I'm wrong. This, ironically, is helping you because people are making snafus and screwing things up. And I feel like they're having some issues over it. I feel like there's fallout for this. I don't see like you getting the backlash for that. I feel like this is like what's giving you a huge opportunity, because it's like now it's creating that need for somebody to want to advance in this situation. Something goes on. I just feel like there's a communication or something goes on where it's quite obvious that somebody else doesn't understand the concept of whatever it is you're trying to teach them. They don't get the concept. And other people are saying, what's going on with that? That's wrong. That's blah, blah, blah. This isn't good. You can't be doing that. Blah, 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 blah. Something along those lines opens up a huge door for you, because this creates the need for whoever you're trying to teach this situation to want to do it better, because they don't like the backlash. So they're trying to advance forward so that they don't get that backlash. This moment is creating an ending, which is giving birth to a reward. Basically what I just explained. Moving forward, I feel like I'm just talking about... I feel like I've been talking about it, but I haven't been showing you the cards. Sorry about that. Alright, so we got those cards. That's what that was about. There's a lot of changes coming in here. Now, there's a little bit of a brutal energy here. How does this affect Libra directly? Page of Pentacles reversed and the High Priestess. This energy is a little bit brutal. It's the Emperor. This is actually your antithesis. Is that the right word? This is your opposite. Sometimes it's Aries. Doesn't mean this have to be an Aries person. There's no good or bad sign, but Aries could be a sign that you have difficulty dealing with. They're also very invested in the truth. They just have a totally different way to do it. They're very bold, and they're very like fix it now. They can be very brutal. That's typically not something that Libra cares for. Is Libra into truth? Definitely. Does Libra believe it has to be brutal? No. Usually Libra is more like diplomatic about it and working it out peacefully. This is the opposite. This is kind of like truth, yes, but brutal truth. This is more of like a brutal truth. So whoever you're dealing with, whatever's falling apart here, it's falling apart. They're dealing with something. They're going on their own natural cycle, but this is also an energy that seems to be supporting you on this. Kind of like, we need to fix this. This needs to go correctly now. This energy, I feel like, is figuring out that you're right. The ironic part of this is when this energy realizes that you're right, then they feel like we need to fix that yesterday. So there's a push to get it done, and done correctly, and done quickly. This is off tune, this is really bad, we need to fix this, and we need to fix it fast and now, and we're not going to have any leeway, we're not going to be nice about it, we're just going to fix it, even if it's brutal. It's supportive, but I feel like there's a little bit of a challenge with that, in the sense of like, you prefer to do it in a more peaceful way. Ironically, I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. I don't think this energy is going to be brutal towards you, but it may be brutal towards other people that you're trying to teach things to or trying to move forward, which is going to give them more incentive to listen to you, ironically. Because I feel like the way this is coming together, it's like, I don't see you liking that brutality, but I see you benefiting from it at the same time. So, transformation is happening very quickly. People are moving forward. People are agreeing with you. There is a little bit of an unsettled energy with this. People are like, okay, Libra, tell us what we need to do so we stop getting yelled at. Please tell us. Please help us. It works. It's weird because the brutality is not coming directly at you, but I feel like because it's around you, you really still don't care for it. It makes you uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Even though it's not directly happening to you, still makes you uncomfortable. There's going to be this moment where you realize that things have gone better, but you're kind of like, did it really have to happen that way? There's this weird energy after you've kind of moved past it that I'm just like, I'm not really sure if I really should have been a part of this. There's something where it doesn't feel right to you. Kind of like, did it really need to go this way? Did this really correct the way it was supposed to? There's this unsettled energy. That Five of Swords, usually the Five of Swords, in my opinion, is like the fruitless win. This one has more of a violent energy to it. This looks more like the Five of Wands, I would depict. like it's the Five of Wands is usually more conflict like this, but I'm getting there is healing with this situation. There's a removal of a block. You did do really well, but there's this weird energy like maybe you're questioning if you really had the effect you wanted to have here. Five of Swords again on the dice, and then the Emperor. Okay. I think it's this energy. This leaves it. I feel like I don't like this. Something about this, like I'm unsettled. Even though, yes, it moved the situation forward. Yes, it corrected things. I feel like it leaves that energy of, like, I don't feel like this worked out the way it was supposed to. And this is the card that fell out. That balance will finish itself off later. You were very effective here. You did do really well. It's making peace with the Emperor energy. Something about that. I feel like you did really do well in this situation. You might be beating yourself up over that. I feel like I don't want to be connected to it anymore. I don't really know. I think if you have to keep working with this Emperor energy, I think that's the problem. And I feel like that's making you question if you really want to be a part of this anymore. Even though you do really well, and you are very effective, it doesn't feel right to you. So how do I explain this a little better? Because they're saying it is working. The Six of Pentacles is like balance, which ironically, even though it's an Earth card, it makes me think of Libra because of the balance thing, because y'all are about balance. That energy does balance the situation out. That energy does help things be more effective. It just doesn't feel comfortable to you. So I feel like at the end of this, what they're kind of trying to highlight is like, look at your accomplishments, look how far you went. If it really doesn't feel that good to you, it might be time for a change. But if you realize how effective you are coupling with that energy, even though you don't care for it, does that make enough of a difference? It depends on what you want from the situation. Because you are extremely effective with this energy helping you out. Again, I feel like you don't really care for it. So I think that's what this reading is really about. Like just addressing how effective you are versus how uncomfortable you are. And is this worth it for you or not? If it's not, then you need to, something needs to change. But if the value is great enough to where, like, you know what, that did work out. This is like, the situation is going the way it should be now. I just don't like how it played out. I just don't like how it happened. I feel like this is very much do ends justify the means? Because I hate that saying. I hate it. So it's kind of like, even though it's super effective, is it worth it to you because of the way it happened? That's where they're trying to get you to. Like, that's what you have to ask yourself to decide what you're going to do next. And doing next means, am I going to go through this situation again with the same energy and get that high effectiveness? Or am I like, no, I don't like the way it's happening. I don't think that's right. So I'm going to go do something else, or I'm going to change this. Even though I might not be effective somewhere else, I'll be a lot happier with the way it happens. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.